Warm greetings from the High 10. This is Angela with Everyday Shenanigans. Thanks for joining me. This is a two-part live pertaining to Jussie Smollett penning a new song pertaining to his alleged innocence, which we already know that's a lie. And the other part of this live is pertaining to Will Smith, who has been banned from the Oscars for 10 years. I will bring you commentary and a source for each set of information pertaining to these two stories. Now, breaking news. Both idiots. How about that? That was quite funny, me putting two idiots in the same title. Two black buffoons together. Yes, I said that. A disgrace, both of you. Two black clowns together. Thank you all for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Hello, Jackie. Thank you for joining me, sweetheart. I will be a little busy today trying to bring you breaking news. I'm going to bring you a crime vault story a little bit later. It will be a very interesting commentary. I will play you information from a documentary pertaining to a very interesting character that had broke news in our history, and I won't reveal that information until I go live at that time with the Crime Vault. But thank you all so much for tuning in to the content and watching. Thank you. I appreciate your support, the donations, and the super chats and stickers. God bless all of you. Happy spring, pre-Easter. Thank you so much. Hello, KM. Thank you so much. Yes, the Crime Vault today will be very, very interesting. It will give you all something to think about when I get done bringing you the commentary. It will give you something to think about. Also, movie of the week is posted to the community board. It's John in the Hole. Please check it out. It's premiering on Showtime. I'd like to discuss that movie. I would prefer that some of you watch the movie first. That way I can maybe do a live about the movie, because it is a very interesting storyline, and I will give you a synopsis of that before I go into my commentary this afternoon. Imagine a preteen deciding for some crazy reason to put his mother and father and sister down in a bunker and leave them there. When I watched this movie, I didn't even get a timeline of how long he had left his parents and sister down in the bunker. But it's a very interesting story because we have very ill people, ill children, and the mind can tell you anything. And that's a live I like to do, is about the human mind. I also like to do one about killers. It's the same thing. The human mind can tell you anything. And the mind is dangerous because the mind can tell you, I can fly, I can swim, I can do this, I can do that, when possibly I cannot. And the human mind can push you to do things that are diabolical. So to drag your mom and dad and sister down in a bunker, one would have to believe he drugged them, because how else could he take them out of their sleep and slumber and drag them damn near dead weight to throw down a bunker, which is really illogical to me that anybody could do this without being drugged, and also without anybody breaking their arm and legs, throwing them down a bunker several feet down, because they couldn't even climb out on their own. So it's a very interesting story. I'd like you to check the movie out. It's posted to my community board. It's the movie of the week. I finished it late this morning. It's a very diabolical story. I've watched a lot of crazy movies, but this one is something to ponder on, because it shows you that you don't know people. And I tell you that all the time, that you don't know people. You don't know the things that people think about and ponder about. You really don't know how people feel about you. Sometimes you can, be in the company of people and you might get a inkling that something's not right with them, or you've got maybe some type of personal issue with them. But imagine being in a family thinking everything's okay, and you realize one day you wake up that your child obviously doesn't like you very much, and your brother, sister don't like you. And you wake up and you're down in a bunker several feet down. It's a very interesting movie. I don't want to tell you the movie. I want you to go watch it. It's on Showtime. I don't know if you can watch it on YouTube or not, but it is premiering on Showtime if you are interested. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start off with Jussie Smollett, the latest news pertaining to Mr. Puss in Boots, crybaby Jussie. The Hill is the source if you need verification. Jussie Smollett has released a new song in which he doubles down on his claims of innocence following his release from jail last month. The former Empire star shared a snippet of the song Thank You God to his Instagram page over the weekend. The rap, which was released about 3 weeks after Smollett walked out of jail, includes statements of his innocence that echo those he made during his trial. It's like they're hell-bent on not solving the crime, Smollett raps in the song. Another verse states, "You got the wrong one." Smollett in December was sentenced to 150 days in prison for lying to police after reporting a racist and homophobic attack in 2019 that was later deemed to have been staged. The actor fights back against his conviction in his song, saying, "You think I'm stupid enough to kill my reputation?" Well, I'm going to intervene right there. Yes, retard, I do believe that because you did that. Okay, now back to the information. John Lennon's song performs Imagine for the first time. Oh, God, that's something they interjected. I'm sorry. I hate when they do this in these articles. They put other stuff in the article. Anyway, Smollett pledged to donate the proceeds from the song to Rainbow Push Coalition, Secure the Bag Safety, and the Illinois Innocence Project. Smollett had served 6 days of his 150-day sentence when he was released from jail last month, pending the appeal of his conviction. Well, thehill.com is the source. First of all, let me say this. Jussie Smollett, I'm going to say this to you directly. You know what you did in Chicago. You know the lies you spun. You know the resources you took out of my great, great home, Chicago. You took resources from that city. It is a thriving city. It is a gritty city. It is a city with a lot of crime. And you took away from the people who were there to do a strenuous job of solving a crime in the dead of winter. People are dying up in this city. People are crying in this city. Children are being murdered every day. Civilians are being murdered senselessly in this city. And you took away from that the very resources they need and deserve with this faux crime, hate crime, homophobic crime, however you want to word it. You did this. You had those two men aid you. They admitted to it. It's over with. Because the government has kindly let you out on an appeal, that's on that court system. They have to sleep with that. It's called John in the Hole. You did this. And now you have the nerve to now pen a song as if that means something. I don't give a damn about you rapping, singing, nothing. Because frankly, this money that you're donating to these organizations that aided you, you should be keeping that money for yourself because you're going to need it. Because if nobody hires your black tail for any type of upcoming role, you're going to need all the money you can. You're going to need all the money you can to pay your damn bills. You are a joke. You, Will Smith, both of you are a joke. That's why both of you in my title. I thought it was befitting to put both two clowns in the same title because I wasn't about to make a video on either of you. I put all the breaking news all in one video. But you're atrocious. And I don't know why they let you out. You deserve all of 150. You deserve more than that. Because I think it's time that the courts make a mockery out of certain crimes. And I think perjury, lying in court, fake police report, you should do jail time for that. You should do jail time, not 20 days, not a month, not even 5 months. I think you should go to jail and do a regular time like everybody else for other crimes. I just think you should because you've wasted resources. You wasted somebody's time. And to me, it doesn't matter if it was dead of winter, if it was springtime. It was a lie. They followed up on the leads. The district attorney helped cover it up. aid you, probably because she liked you, knew you, friends with some of your family members. I don't know. Then she comes out talking crazy about, it was a waste of time. That's why she gave you that old $10,000 fine. But she was telling you then that they had something on you. You couldn't read between the lines, because in order for somebody to give you a fine, that means you still did something wrong. But yet you couldn't understand that. And you stupidly paid it. And now you're crying you didn't get your money back. Hell no, you're going to get your money back. Because that's $10,000 on the $130 you owe, $120 you owe to the city. Hell no, you don't deserve $1 back. Not $1. Thank you for joining me. If you'd like to donate to the channel, $Beganji, 129 Cash App. All super chats are welcome during the live. Let's get started with the next BS. Old Willard Smith. Ooh, mercy, mercy me. News Nation Now is the source. This content was uploaded 2 days ago.
As a lawyer for the Academy. Rachel, great to see you on this Friday. When I heard 10 years, I thought, ooh, harsh. That was my kind of initial reaction. Were you surprised by this, given your history with the Academy?
My bet was on 5 years, but I think what the Board of Governors did, and I believe it was a 2-hour meeting this morning, which is a very long meeting. So I think there was a lot of discussion in the room. But what I think they did was reactive to the community and what Hollywood is feeling in general, which is that what he did was so wrong that there should be a harsher punishment. And I think it's reflective of where they want to head from here, which is to take harder stances, not support violence, and not let anyone get away with things just because they are a superstar.
Right.
So I think this was sending the message of where the Academy wants to be going forward.
Right. The alternative would have been, right, permanent ineligibility. Do you think that that was even on the table?
I do. I think this was definitely on the table. I was guessing 1, 5, 10 years or permanence. And I bet there were people in the room that did want to give him the chance to redeem himself and show that he's sorry. And if he comes back in 10 years as a different type of person showing remorse, I think that was probably what was said in the room, was that he should have a harsh punishment, but always the opportunity here to redeem who he is.
Right. Everybody wants a second chance. That was one of the discussions we were having in the newsroom today. Is there any scenario that he could essentially get off early for good behavior, be allowed back in prior to those 10 years? Or is this a set in stone type of thing?
Well, nothing's set in stone because this is all just a vote by the Board of Governors and signed on by the President and CEO of the Academy. So yes, I assume they could change their mind and it would probably be a different set of Board of Governors at that point. But no, nothing's set in stone. But I do think they are trying to send a real message here.
Right. I mean, imagine the attention it would draw once he does come back. Right. So the Academy president released a statement, and let's pull that up real quick, apologizing, as you saw a moment ago, for not adequately addressing the situation in the room. If you were advising them legally right now, and they talk about we could have done more, we should have done more, what would you suggest they do to respond differently the next time? What kind of plan should they have in place if something like this or something similar were to happen?
I think they should now have some sort of an emergency plan in place for what happens among the members of the Academy. And, if a crime is committed, my hunch is they will escort that person out of the room immediately going forward.
So legally speaking, is this an amendment to the written code of conduct? Is that what you anticipate may be happening behind closed doors?
I don't think they have to amend the code of conduct because there's nothing that would say they had to wait. I just think that they will now have a plan to be more responsive in the moment. And that would be among the producers, the lawyers, and even law enforcement going forward.
Real quick, Rachel, Will Smith also responded today, and you heard Nancy mention this. He said, "I accept and respect the Academy's decision." Did he really have a choice in the matter at all, but to kind of take the punishment and move on?
No, he had no choice, and by resigning, he took away their ability to expel him or suspend him. So he broke up with the Academy before they had the chance to break up with him, and now he's just accepting the punishment going forward. So yeah, no, he had no other option.
They want us to put it behind us, stop talking about it, move on. But it has generated a lot of press. Do you expect anything else out of the Academy in terms of addressing the situation or responding?
I think what would make the Academy respond going forward, and they really probably don't want to talk about this anymore, is if we get some real reaction out of Chris Rock. So that's he's been the silent person in this scenario. And so if for some reason he comes out and starts talking about it, yes, I think from there the Academy will react. But I do think they're being very deferential to Chris Rock and very understanding of whatever his feelings would be going forward.
I'm glad you brought that up, because is there still a chance he could file charges against Will Smith? When does that door close for him?
The door's not closed and the evidence is there. So yes, there is a chance. Again, nobody really predicts that he will do that. He could file a civil suit. He could name the Academy. I don't think he'll do that. I don't, if for no other reason than it probably would not benefit his career. But he probably is still working through the incident, and he probably is having a lot of emotions and some aftermath that he may not have expected immediately after it happened. He was likely in shock as it was happening and in the days following. And now I think he's probably working through what his true response will be to the public.
I have read he's done a couple of comedy events. Everyone expects him to say something. He doesn't go any further than saying, "I'm not going to talk about it right now." He's digesting it. I think we're still digesting it, seeing it over and over again. You still kind of can't believe that it happened. Rachel Fizet, always great to see you. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
You too, Maureen. Thank you.
All right, everybody. News Nation Now is the source, good source of information. Thank you, ladies, for your commentary. I'm going to go ahead and read an article pertaining to this breaking news coming out of Hollywood, California, pertaining to Will Smith. Thank you for joining me. Just 1 second. Well, if I can get my info to load up. Just 1 minute. Okay. Well, it's taking its time. May have to go back in, find what I was looking for. Let's see here. CNN is the source. Actor Will Smith banned from attending Oscars for 10 years. Will Smith will not be allowed to attend the Academy Awards for the next 10 years as a result of his slapping comedian Chris Rock on stage during this year's Oscar ceremony. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences announced in a statement obtained by CNN. The board has decided for a period of 10 years from April 8th, 2022, Mr. Smith shall not be permitted to attend any Academy events or programs in person or virtually, including but not limited to the Academy Awards. Academy President David Rubin and CEO Don Hudson said in a statement on Friday. The decision was made during a Board of Governors meeting held earlier in the day in Los Angeles. The meeting, initially scheduled for April 18th, was expedited after Smith announced his resignation from the Academy last week. Smith issued a quick, concise statement on his ban from the Oscars for the next decade. I accept and respect the Academy's decision, the actor said in a statement to CNN. CNN has reached out to Rock's representatives for comment. The decision came following tons of debate on what the consequences of his onstage slap should be, a board member tells CNN. The Academy's letter added, the 94th Oscars were meant to be a celebration of the many individuals in our community who did incredible work this past year. However, those moments were overshadowed by the unacceptable and harmful behavior we saw Mr. Smith exhibit on stage. During our telecast, we did not adequately address the situation in the room. The letter went on to state, for this, we are sorry. This was an opportunity for us to set an example for our guest viewers, our Academy family around the world, and we fell short, unprepared for the unprecedented. The Board of Governors said in a previous statement that they wanted the matter to be handled in a timely fashion. Smith's resignation means that he is no longer part of the Academy's voting body, but it does not prevent the Oscar winner from being nominated in the future, a source with the knowledge previously told CNN. Smith can also still be nominated despite being barred from attending the Oscars because the standards of conduct rules at play in today's action do not apply to awards eligibility, a source close to the Academy with direct knowledge of the rules told CNN on Friday. Typically, the previous year's Best Actor winner presents the current year's Best Actress award, and the reigning Best Actress presents to the Best Actor trophy. With Smith's ban, the Oscars will have to break that tradition. And it recaps what happened. I'm not going to read into that because all of us know about what was said. I'm going to go on to the next part where it says, days after it occurred, Rock appeared at a comedy show in Boston as a part of his Ego Death tour and said, I don't have a bunch of SHI about what happened. So if you came to hear that, I'd like a whole show I wrote before this weekend. I had like a whole show I wrote before this weekend, and I'm still kind of processing what happened. So at some point, I'll talk about the you know what, and it'll be serious and it'll be funny. But right now, I'm going to tell some jokes. Smith publicly apologized to Rock the day after the incident via social media. Smith also reached out the next morning to the show's producer, Will Packer, apologized and expressed his embarrassment. The producer told Good Morning America. During the interview with GMA, Packer said officers from the Los Angeles Police Department were prepared to arrest Smith for battery, but Rock said he didn't want that. In its letter, the Academy expressed deep gratitude to Mr. Rock for maintaining his composure under extraordinary circumstances. This action we are taking today in response to Will Smith's behavior is a step toward a larger goal of protecting the safety of our performers and guests and restoring trust in the Academy, the letter concluded. We also hope this can be a time of healing and restoration for all involved and impacted. CNN is the source. Woo, mercy. Where do I start? First of all, I'm glad that the Academy acknowledged a speedy resolution instead of waiting till the 18th, which would be next week, because I feel like that was appropriate under the circumstances. Will Smith resigned to save face, in my opinion. Instead of him waiting to see what they would do and them outing him, expelling him for a period of time or eternity, he took the latter. He did it himself. I'll go first, not second. He apologized to Mr. Packer the next day. How did Mr. Packer feel? I didn't watch the interview with Good Morning America to know what he said. But Mr. Packer, how do you feel about what happened at the Oscars? Do you believe that Mr. Smith is genuinely sorry for what he did? Or is he just realizing the backlash is greater than what he did? Wasn't expecting the backlash. The part of this story that doesn't make any sense is that you all decided to ban him for 10 years, but he can still be in the running for an Oscar. And he will not be able to accept it in person or virtually. And you'll have to break tradition with the Best Actress presenting to him and him presenting to the Best Actress next year. So how would that work? Explain it to me. how you're going to ban somebody for 10 years, but they can still be nominated to receive an Oscar, yet they're banned to attend any events pertaining to the Academy in Arts, Sciences, and accept an award. So my thing is, you're contradicting yourself by giving the 10-year ban. Hey, I'm going to ban you, but you still can run for an Oscar and win. So how is he going to receive the award? Explain that to us. Maybe I'm a little dumb in this area of common denomination, because I don't understand what the hell you're saying. You're not making any sense. You're going to ban somebody, whether you ban them for a year, 2 years, it's all the same. If they perform in a movie, they're nominated. How are they going to receive the damn award? So now what? Somebody has to stand in their place and receive the award and then what? Ship it to them via what? UPS, FedEx? Come on, help me out. Or somebody in a black limousine is going to show up at their door with it wrapped in a pretty box and paper, tissue paper. Y'all see where I'm going with this. Here you go. See, this is stupid. And as I said, he resigned to save face. He didn't want them doing it first to him. And now you give this contradictory ramification. You can't come and pick up the award in person if you're nominated because you're banned for 10 years. In 10 years, nobody's going to give a you know what about Will Smith. And yes, people are still talking about it because it just happened. You people wanted people to forget about what he did damn near 3 days later. Well, it doesn't work like that because he hit a man in public and people will argue back and forth who's right, who's wrong. But as I said to many people who agree with what he did, well, maybe you should stand somewhere in a public arena and let somebody hit you in your damn face. And let's see if you decide to stand there and don't respond for whatever reason the slap is for. You wouldn't like it. You wouldn't like it. There was a better way of handling this joke on either side. And I'm not here to say what Chris Rock knew or didn't know. I have spoke on that saying, I don't think he knew. But as I said, if he did know about the alopecia, he's never going to admit to it. Security for this event. Where was the security for this event? Once again, why did you not have appropriate security to ascertain the situation? Why did you not call security? Why did security not show up to ask Mr. Smith and his lady friend to depart? Or perhaps, maybe I shouldn't say that because many will say, well, she didn't do anything. Well, 9 times out of 10, if the husband left, she would leave. And did Mr. Packer or any other entities ask Will Smith to leave? Because I believe there's a discrepancy with this. And then we have them, the Academy, speaking on the fact that they made a mistake. They didn't handle the situation appropriately. It took away the shine of the others in the room, which it did. People who work hard for their craft. So Will Smith, you're not the only person that is an actor, actress. There were other participants in there who are highly favored, likable, and talented. And you did take away their shine. You took away all the participants who were receiving awards and those who were in the running for an award because you wanted to be an asswipe and show out in public. And some of you don't seem to understand that. That it's just disrespectful. But as someone said to me recently, it's not disrespectful. He talked about his woman, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, he laughed also. But the point is, the Academy has an obligation to its participants and its guests to be Johnny on the spot if something jumps off. And maybe that's the problem. Nobody was expecting anything to jump off. So, hell, we don't need them. They're back in the room drinking and getting high, I guess, the damn security. Where were they? Because I find it funny nobody ran up immediately. Did you all not notice that? Just as quick as he jumped up and hit that man, you didn't see one person run up to ascertain the situation. Why not? He hit a man in public and not one security guard, police officer ran up I find that very, very strange. So then I have to ask the ultimate question: where was the security? How many security officers do you have working for you? Will you hire new security officers next year? Hell, we have to rope off the damn stage. I'm just saying. And once again, the ramification, punishment, however you want to word it, doesn't make any sense. I'm going to ban you, but you can still be nominated for an award. And that means somebody else would have to accept the award for Will Smith and then deliver it to his home. This is ridiculous to me. And then they're saying that the ramifications aren't set in stone. So what are you trying to tell us? That they could change their mind next year, 2 months from now, and say, well, Will, we want you back. You're welcome to come back if you like. We're not going to let it stick for 10 years. No. Let it be set in stone. If you implement it 10 years, then let it stick at 10 years. Because you're still contradicting yourself by letting him run for an Oscar later. As far as Chris Rock goes, what will he have to say about this 10-year ban? When will he speak? And the issue of him saying, when he gets paid, he will speak. What did Chris Rock mean by that terminology? Did he mean when I'm done with this comedy tour, when the Academy pays me my check, or when I decide to sue the Academy and Will Smith? What did Chris Rock mean by when I get paid? Or was that just a joke? See, you never know with a comedian. That's the whole point. They say anything. Doesn't mean it's factual. Doesn't mean it's set in stone. You see, this event that took place is a lesson learned that anything can happen and anything can jump off. Anything can jump off at a moment's notice. And that's what happened. No one was expecting someone to be violated at an award ceremony on a live stream. And it didn't matter what the race was or is. It's just ridiculous to me. To take it that far, a joke. And I think Will realizes that now, and his wife. And then maybe they don't. I don't really care what they think, quite frankly, because I don't have any respect for people who have these open type lifestyles. My thing is you can do what you want to do, but I'm not getting ready to sit here and use that as an excuse for what happened on that Sunday, because I don't rock like that. Yeah, we all have bad days, bad moments. I'm irritated today myself, but guess what? I'm not going to go out here and beat up nobody. I know how to ascertain the situation. I just ignore people. I do that well. If I don't do anything well, I do that. I rant and rave in private, and I just ignore your ass and cut you off. I can do that with my eyes closed. But we will see what Chris Rock will say after the fact, if he will give a commentary pertaining to the 10-year ban of Will Smith. We will see if he decides to take legal action against the Academy and or Mr. Smith. The fact that they made a comment in his commentary in News Nation about a detriment to Chris Rock. Well, why would it be a detriment to his career if he sued the Academy? Chris Rock's going to eat regardless. By no means that one-time payment from the Academy is in comparison to what he does for a living. He's a comedian. He's an actor. He can go anywhere and make money. So he doesn't live off of one payment from the Academy. Same with Will Smith. Whether he is ever nominated, receives an award, he will still make money so long as somebody decides to cast him in a movie and people patronize the movie. That's how the business goes. But do you all think the Academy made the right decision with the 10-year ban? How do you feel about the 10-year ban? Do you think it's compensatory to the actions of Will Smith? Should he have been banned eternity Should he be fined? Because I didn't hear anything about a fine. I think he should have been fined. And I also think the Academy should have pressed charges against Will Smith if Chris did not, or whether he did or not. I think the Academy should have pressed charges because you were on their property, their function, and you disrespected a attendee and the Academy itself and its participants. So they should fine Will Smith alongside the 10-year ban. Some people believe you should give the Oscar back. How do you feel about that? How do you all feel about Will giving the Oscar back and most importantly, them asking to return the Oscar? That's why I said the punishment doesn't make any sense. Because you can't tell somebody you can't come here anymore or 10 years or so, but you can be in the running for an award. So all he's got now is no voting rights, and he can't show up for 10 years. But he can come up for the running of an award that he cannot go and receive. That makes no sense to me. So the Academy, you didn't think this thoroughly through. If you're going to ban somebody, just ban them all together. But then they say, well, we give him the 10 years. Maybe he'll come around. He'll be a better person in 10 years. He may be dead in 10 years. How about that? He keeps living the lifestyle he's living with Jada, this open relationship. They're doing what they want, bickering with each other. Somebody's going to be dead because most people worry themselves to death. How about that? But as I've told you all, I don't really care about their lifestyle, but I don't respect it because it causes confusion. And naturally, it's going to get out because people can't keep their mouths closed. And that's exactly what happened with these two. And whether it was on somebody's mind the night of the Oscars is neither here nor there for me. A lot of people like to use that as an excuse. He's been going through a lot. He went through what he put himself through. And Denzel, you should know better than that. This was expected. What you mean? Him hitting somebody at the award ceremony in public? Another black man? That was expected? You thought that was okay? He hit another black man because of a joke? Or he just hit some damn body, period, because he mad at the world. How about that? So he just go out and hit any damn body. Coffee too hot at Starbucks, I'm going to hit the employee because I've been going through something today, yesterday, a year ago. I'm mad at my wife, my life, my decisions, so I'm going to get mad at the girl at the checkout counter, the guy pushing the buggy at the grocery store. Hey, where do you stop? When you hit one person, see, you all don't think when you speak. Hello, Miss Jackson. Because that's my point. Where do you stop? He's having a bad life. Well, my thing is, if you want to use that as an excuse for Sunday's events, he didn't have to show up. She didn't have to show up. Life's so bad. You're so angry at jokes and life and gossip. Then you should have stayed at home. Should have watched from your privacy of your house. Hitting somebody in public 2 or 3 minutes after a joke. I mean, come on, really? The choices that have been made by Jada and Will are of their own choosing and doing. Has nothing to do with the general public or the Academy or Chris Rock. You all made a sound decision to live as you see fit, raise your children as you see fit. Has nothing to do with Chris Rock, has nothing to do with the joke, has nothing to do with the Academy, has nothing to do with King Richard, has nothing to do with nothing. You all have chosen to live your life before you made the movie. Before you all had your disagreement with Chris Rock about boycotts, whatever, you all have been doing what you want to do for 20 plus years. Has nothing to do with Chris Rock. And I really didn't like people using that as an excuse. What he's been going through. He's been through a lot. You mean what he chose to go through. What he chose to put himself through. Such as all of us. We make our own choices to endure certain things. Oblige certain decisions. Has nothing to do with anybody else. No outsiders. We did this to ourselves. The choices we make with people. I think he should have been fined by the Academy, and I think he should have been banned. And I think they should have had security beefed up, and I pray that they will have more security backstage and in the aisles at the next awards show. And I pray that this event does not take place there or anywhere else ever again. And I pray that all participants can move forward. Now, what will Chris Rock do? That's a whole nother story. Will he sue the Academy? Will he sue Will Smith? Will he talk about him like a dog? Probably so. He is human. And he was hit in public. Life is short. And as people love to say, it's what you make it. It's your reaction is what determines how you fare in life. And we already know that. Your response, how you respond to things. Hello, everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining me. But that's the set information pertaining to Will Smith and the Academy. He's been banned for 10 years. But he can still be in the running to receive an Oscar. But he cannot receive it at the said location. So how that will work, I do not know. And as I said, their decision to ban him is contradictory to him being able to still run for the award. And I hope I've touched on everything that's been said in these articles pertaining to Mr. Smith and the Academy. But they did take responsibility for not addressing the situation during the live stream. They apologized to the Academy. The Academy apologized to the participants and the viewing audience. And I do respect that they did expedite the situation quicker than April 18th because it needed to be expedited. But naturally, they went ahead and made a decision because he resigned. And as I said at the beginning of this live, he resigned to save face. He knew what he did was wrong, so he went on and bowed out. So now he is not a voting member of the Academy, but he can still get an Oscar for any performance in a movie, which makes no sense if you're banned. So I think they fell short there. And I do believe they need to address the discrepancy on did they ask him to leave or not, because there's still some discrepancy with who asked and if he was actually asked to leave. And now they want to just push it under the rug conveniently. But that's not life and it's not realistic. You can't tell people what to respond to as far as gossip and he said, she said. And as I've always said, if you don't like people talking about you in the street or in the media, then stay out the street and stay out the media. Keep your business to yourself and won't nobody be talking about you. Because people will gossip about you naturally if they want to, but don't give them something to talk about. So you gave the public something to talk about, Mr. Smith, when you hit the damn man. And now you and possibly others, the Academy people, wanted to just go away. Stop talking about it. Don't talk about it. It's over with. It's over with for whom? You're not the one walking around with a slap to the face that's now been uploaded in content, jokes, memes, and in videos. It was recorded. So I don't think a lot of people realize that. Chris Rock will have to someday come to terms with what happened and try to live that down because it did happen publicly. And until you've been slapped publicly, you really can't say he was hit for a reason to honor a man's wife. Come on now. As we've said, there was no honor when a young man was sleeping with your wife and he came out and told your business. You all decided to have an open relationship. Where's the respect and honor there? For till death do us part, let no other man or woman come before the other participant. Honor, love, and cherish your spouse. Those are all lies. And perhaps you didn't take those vows. Perhaps you had no vows when you got married. You just jumped the broom and that was it. You all don't respect one another, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. You don't have any respect for one another. Because today you two decided to let other participants into your marriage. You forfeit the love that you have for one another. when you two could have easily said, this is not working out. We need to go our separate way. And then you two could do whatever you want to do. And that way, when you went to a public arena, it wouldn't matter about what joke was told because you ain't with nobody to give a damn what the joke of the hour would be. That's my commentary pertaining to Will Smith and Jussie Smollett. And for those coming in, Jussie Smollett has written a new song pertaining to his Innocence, a rap song. I've not heard it and don't care to hear it. And Jussie is a joke too. Another fool, another buffoon, capitalizing off his own diabolical mind. Sociopath, narcissist. And those agencies that aided him, Rainbow Push, I'm very disappointed with you all and the Innocence Project. I don't really have faith in you all either, because I'm trying to understand why in the hell you would back somebody who blatantly lied and took resources out of the city of Chicago. So there's something wrong with you all too. And I don't think I would want to even go to you all for any type of damn help. Because if you are willing to aid this man knowing he lied and took money from the city for a bogus lie, then that means you all need to check yourselves. And I'm not going to judge everybody that's in the Innocence program and the Rainbow Push and the other organization mentioned, but the representatives who come forward to represent Mr. Jussie Smollett as in support, you need to have your damn heads checked because there's something wrong with you all. I want to send this personal message out to somebody and to the general viewing audience, because this can go in line to what I'm speaking of this afternoon, pertaining to people. You don't know people. And when people show you who they are, you need to believe them. Maya Angelou once said that when they show you who they are, believe them. In other words, run like hell. I want to say this to somebody. You know, I'm a very kind and giving person. And that is something that many people don't know of me, especially those who watch my content. You just know me from what I say during the lives. But that doesn't mean you know me. And I think what I do pretty well, even outside of YouTube, the giving. And when a person has shown you that they are not respectful and you trying to be kind to them, then you need to do just what Miss Maya said. Run. If you can't respect the queen, respect the craft, respect who I am as a person, that's anybody. I don't have no use for you. There comes a time when we as people need to know when to leave people alone. And that means in all areas, conversation, gift giving, listening to their problems, accepting their bad behavior, their tongue, their actions, all of that. And I think I'm quite fed up, quite frankly, because anything I do for you is out of my own way, my own pocketbook. So if you have a problem with the YouTube, what I do up here, know that anything I make from here and my other jobs, you get a portion of that with whatever I give you. So if I give you something, do something for you, give you something, where did you think it came from? I'm pissed. I'm a little pissed today because I don't need any judgments about what I do. And I don't need to be in the company of anybody that has a problem with what I do up here or anything I've done for you. You don't like what I've done for you, then hell, give it back. Give it back. Oh, but you can't give it back because you've liked what you've received. I've learned now you just can't be nice to people. You can't go out your way for people. You can't give them things. You can't do things for them because they're just ornery as hell. You can't extend yourself. So my advice to some of you is that know when to fold in dealing with people. When you see things that you are not in conjunction with, whatever it is, attitude, disposition, doing things for people, favors for people, listening to people, people wanting to come in and out, your peripheral, your presence, whenever they feel like it, then cut them off. Because I believe you deserve better than that. And I myself deserve better than that. And I think it comes a time when you have to own you're participating with people who don't mean you any good. And I say this earnestly and honestly, that you have to know when to fold, when tolerating things with people. There are a lot of things I don't care for in life, okay? I don't care for some of these stories I talk about. I don't care for some of the things they do in the stories. I don't care for some of the things I see up here in this network business that I do up here. Things I don't care about in my personal life. So I deal with it the best way I can at that time. But what I'm not going to do is ever let somebody disrespect me or continue to disrespect me. Now, the scripture tells me to forgive you, turn the other cheek. But at some point, I have to be honest in that, saying, well, I ain't got but two cheeks. Thank you, CR. So how many times can I turn the other cheek? You see, the scripture told me turn the other cheek, but it didn't tell me to be a fool or be a rug. And I've learned with certain people, you just can't be nice to them. You can't be kind to them. You can't do anything for them. They will burn you at every end, every turn. They will never be receptive to kindness because, one, they don't love themselves. And you can't love somebody or be kind to others when you don't love yourself and you're not kind to yourself. You don't revere yourself. And you let me know that recently, that you really don't like yourself, that you're not pleased with yourself. So then I should not expect anything from you. Now that I know you have internal issues with yourself. So that means to leave you alone altogether. And there are people, as of late, I have seen in my peripheral that I just don't care for. And I don't want to have anything to do with you. And I've been kind to not just come out outright to tell you to your damn face that I don't want to talk to you. I don't want you calling me. I don't want you reaching out to me. I don't want to be bothered. And I've been diplomatic in ignoring you, as not to cuss you out and tell you about yourself. Because I don't feel the need I have to do that. I shouldn't have to do that, and I won't. But don't cross me and don't try me, because I will. And I realize that my mother cursed me as a child, 14. She said to me, you attract drama. She said that to me, and I believe it. I went through life believing that, and even now at 51, I believe that. Because an incident took place as a child where a girl got beat up, and I was an eyewitness. And there were several of us standing on the street that witnessed that. So the issue was going to, I guess, juvenile court. And my mother had to call me. I was out of town living. This time I'm in Tennessee. She's like, well, they want her to come to court, blah, blah, blah. So naturally, my grandparents are like, well, she's not going out of town. She's a kid. She doesn't live in Chicago anymore. Whatever happened, it happened. And I told her, I'm not coming up there to testify in court for nothing. But the point I'm trying to make of this story is that I've always felt like this. This is my testimony today. I didn't really want to say this during this live, but I'm going to go ahead and say it because somebody probably needs to hear it. Sometimes you can attract drama. And I think when people see that you are nice, or they assume that you're nice, you have a disposition that seems kind, they take that for weakness. But by no means am I weak. I've only been weak because I continue to deal with you. That is the weakness. But as Crystal told me, I'm going to throw Crystal's name out there because that's my right hand. That's my ace. She told me weeks ago, cut it off. They're not genuine. and they're not serious. Cut them off. And Crystal, I'm going to say this to you today. You were right. I didn't want to own it because I was hoping the person would grow up, act like an adult. But I realized yesterday they don't have it in them. So that's okay. But I'm going to do my part. Hello, Nay. How are you doing, sweetheart? I hope you're well. I'm going to do my part and bow out permanently. If you're not getting support from people, mentally, physically, if all people do is call you when they have problems, they never ask you how you're doing, they never check on you, they never return phone calls, texts, they don't ask you, do you need anything? They only pop up when it's convenient for them, self-serving moments. Cut them off. Don't do anything for them. Don't call them. Don't receive their calls or texts. If it means blocking them, then do that. Delete their number and don't look back. Because there comes a time when you have to leave people alone. And I found myself here recently, being tested by a few individuals that I don't have to be tested by because I don't deal with them enough to be tested. And that's when I realized I don't want to participate. Because if every time you come around, it's something negative off your tongue about me, something you don't like, but yet you're still in my peripheral, that lets me know that you are ill. Because if I didn't like something about somebody or something they were doing, or if it's just, a petty disagreement, I'm not going to keep going around them. But obviously, they like something because they keep coming around. All of them. Yeah, I'm going to call them out. All of them. You like something because you keep calling. Keep wanting to talk. Always got something you want to say. But if you're so perturbed, why are you calling? Why are you in my face? See, that's what I understand about people. Pop up every blue moon. Well, what do you want? So I'm going to do all of you a favor. I'm out. I'm out. As we say in the street, I'm going to give you what you want. I'm done. And I feel the same way about this YouTube. It's all the same to me. There comes a point when I don't want to be bothered and I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to talk about anything and I don't want to dispute anything. And I'm learning that more and more about people, that some of you are so miserable that you wake up angry. You are mad as soon as your eyes open. You've got a complaint. You're bitter. You're depressed as you know what, and you have nothing to live for but to be angry every waking minute. And that is a disgusting way to live. And I don't recommend it. We all have had bad days, troubles, financial issues, health issues, relationship issues, acquaintance, work issues. But there comes a point when you have got to try to work through those things because it will kill you if you don't try to work it out. Alleviate it, remove yourself, however it goes. But what I'm not going to do is be a party to it. I can't. That's my advice to any of you. That when you see that you're going toe-to-toe with people for petty things, you feel used, abused, alienated, whatever the situation is that's not conducive to how you're trying to live and your disposition, bow out. Don't argue about it. Don't rant and rave about it. Just cut your losses because life is short. And when people don't appreciate you, they don't appreciate what you do, how you do it, how you say it, then there's no need in you all being in each other's peripheral. And that's just how I feel. When you realize you're not benefiting, because I've noticed here lately, 3 different people have something to say about something. One person I never even see. So I'm looking at this person like, what is your problem? I don't even see you, hear from you. Another person only calling, everything's negative as soon as you pick up the phone. They got a complaint. What I'm saying. Well, if you don't like what I'm saying, why are you calling me? We don't even talk, so why are you calling? But yet you're steady calling. Then another person. I only see this person when I get out into the world. Then they decide they want to have a complaint. You know, no, I don't know nothing because I don't talk to you enough. Well, what's your problem? So I'm going to say this kindly. And I hope they watch the videos. I don't really care. Don't bother me. Do yourself a favor and stay out of my business and stay out of my way. Do not contact me because I don't want to hear anything you have to say. There's too many people that I can waste my breath on in conversating, doing nice things for. And my thing is, I don't have money to waste. I don't have money to burn. And when it's a matter of it affecting my pocketbook because I decided to do something nice for somebody and they're not reciprocal, hell no. And one thing I've learned about that in doing for people, especially when it's spending monies, when they pop up and then disappear, you already know the game. Oh, they got something they wanted, even if they didn't ask for it. Now, they can't say 2 words. That's cold. But that's how people are. They get what they want and they're gone. Whether they ask for it or you volunteered. Hey, I thought about you here. People are cutthroat out here. You can't win with some people. They're either complaining, moaning, groaning, only crying about their own life problems, but you can't never tell them anything. Like I told this person, I can't tell you any damn thing because you don't listen. You're self-serving. You always about yourself. Oh, I didn't want to bother you. That's a lie. You know how to bother me to tell me something was going on with you a month or so ago. And I listened. And I listened. But I'm not doing it anymore. Because I realize you don't like yourself. You hate yourself, literally. You let me know that. And I realize there's nothing I can do for you. I can't help you anymore. There's nothing I can do or say to you that will help you or help myself in dealing with you. And I have accepted that now. That if I go back in, then I'm an utter fool. Because you show me, even in your weakest moment, that you are a manipulator and you're heartless. And I will not participate. And I will not do it with anybody else. I had made a vow that I would not continue this roller coaster ride. So I have nobody to blame but myself. But it stopped today. That's my advice to you all listening. is that there comes a point in time when you have to worry about yourself and take care of yourself. And that when you see the things are not working out with people, trying to help people, do things for people, no matter if it's a friendship or somebody you care about in the other way, that you have to know when to fold. You have to know when people are not interested. You have to know when people are not in receiving your conversation, your gifts, your time, whatever it is that you're doing. Know when to fold and say, well, you know what, there's somebody else out there who would not mind my time, what I'm doing, conversation, whatever it is. Know when to fold, because in the end, you're only hurting yourself. And life is short. God is good. God has been good to me. He has favored me even in my worst situations and circumstances in the past year. Even with my current health issues, I have no reasons to be going through this extra stuff, participating in any foolishness, either on this wire or in my personal life, and I will not indulge. Whether I'm healthy or not healthy, I will not do it. And I advise some of you to not do it, because you don't know the hour that you will not wake up. So you imagine all the time you spend upset, depressed, suicidal, homicidal, worrying about things, when tomorrow you could walk out here and get hit by a bus or take ill, and your mind will go back to all the time you wasted angry and bitter and fussing and feuding with people over petty stuff, or trying to get somebody to understand you. Don't do it. Don't do it. I want to thank you all for joining me. I'll be on a little bit later. I will be bringing you a crime vault, true crime, and I hope you'll tune back in a little bit later. And it is a true crime story pertaining to a very public figure here in the United States. I will not tell you who it is, but I will bring you that information a little bit later. This commentary is pertaining to Jussie Smollett writing a song about his alleged innocence and the 10-year ban for Will Smith by the Academy. Thank you all so much for joining me. God bless all of you. Stay safe. Have a happy week. Happy pre-Easter to those of you who celebrate Easter and believe that Jesus died on the cross for our sins. If you're a believer, if you're a non-believer, we'll pray for you anyway. Thank you all for joining me. This is Angela from the High 10 Everyday Shenanigans. Thank you so much. God bless all of you. Prayers for all of you. Please pray. Continue to pray for Crystal Moore, who lost her grandmother, and prayers for my mods. Prayers for you, Miss Nay, who has not been feeling good. Prayers for KM. Husband's had some issues. Thank you all so much for joining me. I'll talk to you guys a little bit later. Well, Nay, let me tell you this. I don't deal with a lot of people either. So that should tell you something. I don't deal with a lot of people at all. But the few that I have dealt with just in conversation, I can no longer engage. I'll just put it like that. I can no longer engage. Thank you all so much for listening. God bless all of you. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Take care of self. Trust me. It'll keep you healthy in the end. Love yourself and take care of yourself. Because in the end, nobody can do it but you. Because in the end, you are all you've got. And I get that from one of Beyonce's old songs. In the end, I found out I can be my own best friend. Thank you.